What's up, everybody? Richard back this week with another episode of the Warped Report. And listen, we got a lot of stuff to get to, so I don't want to waste any time. We have some heavier topics to discuss as well, so let's not waste any time. I want to start off, obviously, since last week, a lot of things have been going on in the world. Russia invading Ukraine, and of course, it's terrible. But we do have some comments here from two notable bands, JINJER being the first one. JINJER is actually a Ukrainian native band. And they issued a comment here, nothing can justify the violence. I know that they're actually in, I believe is the capital city of Ukraine, Kiev. I know that at least some of the members are there, because it says it right here in the quote that each member of JINJER and our families are safe and unhurt. And obviously, you see the images out of Ukraine, and it's horrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. And I just hope that they can be safe. And then I guess from the Russian side of things, there's a couple things I want to talk about with this. So this is from Metal Sucks, and I have an issue with how they presented this in the headline, because they're being provocative here for no reason. They have the quote here: "We do not take sides about slaughter to prevail." Yes, they did mention that in their quote. However, this is the full quote, and I'll read it. It says that you can see it right there, but it says, "No to war. Our band has nothing to do with politics. We do not take sides. We are all peaceful inhabitants of this world and for world peace. We do not accept any military action. We wish all of you and your loved ones, relatives, and friends to stay safe and hope this nightmare ends as soon as possible." And, they kind of like drag it out here, and then they eventually down here give the rationale why. And I'll tell you why. Alex and the other guys in Slaughter to Prevail who live in Russia, they're pretty notable figures, okay? They're verified on social media. They have, plenty of followers. And they live in a country where if they speak out negatively against the government, they could be imprisoned or worse. So, they're obviously they have this sentiment here where they want everybody to be it's peaceful. They don't take sides. They're obviously against it, and Metal Sucks does say that here, and that they believe that Slaughter to Prevail is against it. Which, I mean, you can read through the lines here. They obviously are taking a stance to speak out without the risk of government backlash. Because, I mean, you're seeing it now in the news. Residents are in Moscow being arrested in droves for this. So I have a very big issue with how Metal Sucks did this. I really do. Because you don't need to do it for a story like this. People have been eagerly awaiting a comment from Slaughter to Prevail because they're a Russian band. You don't need to label the article as them, not taking a political hard stance on them. Of course they're against the war. And you even say that in your article, but you're making a provocative headline for clicks. I think that is disgusting. I mean, I really do. Like, I saw this on Twitter, and I was originally going to use the Lamb Goat article because it was just a lot more straight to the point. But this is something that I think is important. I think that this is despicable of them to do this. And I know that people might be saying that I'm overreacting, but as somebody who is a journalist, a major, I went to college for it, I have a degree in it. You do not need to do this. Like, you don't, and you're doing it for the sheer fact of hoping to get an outrage click, and that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I'm here in America. I know a lot of you who follow the Out of Line channel. I know that Out of Line is a foreign record label. They're overseas, as they say. Here in America, we have these privileges, such as being able to speak out against the government without, the potential of arrest or even worse. Russia is not the case. I mean, it just isn't. I mean, you're seeing that now. And so, I don't know, man. I could go on and on about this. I'll just leave it at that. But Slaughter to Prevail also issued a statement as well. And yeah, we'll move on because that bothered me, and I really wanted to bring that up. So the next story here, it doesn't get any better. Obviously, not to the levels of an invasion or a war, but Make Them Suffer have kicked out Booka Nile following allegations. So, if you guys haven't heard, so basically, long story short, a former friend of Booka went on Instagram and posted some screenshots of text exchanges that she had with Booka, in which Booka was making some, let's just say at the very best, off-colored jokes about, potentially, I'll just use the initial SA just for YouTube purposes. And so it kind of went a little bit noticed, like it got picked up by Metalcore Reddit, and then eventually the band did issue a statement to that she's no longer in the band, and then she took to Instagram and posted a story about, hey, it's been real, and that she would post a statement within a week. It's still within the week time from at the time of this recording, but she has been on her stories kind of, like just, dancing and whatever, hey, that's her prerogative, but I just think that that's kind of strange. I obviously there could be a legal implication to all of this, so I don't want to make any assumptions, but just seems a little, I don't know. It just seems a lot to me. But hopefully we get a comment from her, sooner rather than later. And but yeah, Booka Nile no longer in Make Them Suffer. We're just on a roll here today, guys, by the way. So, yeah, Census Fail. They canceled the U.S. tour. We respect everyone's anger and feelings. So, they were originally supposed to go on tour with We Came as Romans, Counterparts, and 𝗧𝗛𝗪 but some of the members of, I believe it was the drummer of Counterparts, came out and talked about how the tour had been canceled, and he didn't name any band name in particular, but, Census Fail kind of has, an interesting past in terms of dealing with other bands, so everybody kind of guessed it was Census Fail, including myself. And Census Fail, Buddy Nielsen came out with a comment here talking about, the everything being, shut down and whatnot of the tour. And they said that they wanted to say something publicly, but it got leaked. And they said that, due to the pandemic and their record needed to be delayed. And then they found out they was having a second child. Here's the thing. This comment just goes on and on, but here's the thing. Totally respect, if you have a record coming out and it's being pushed back due to other circumstances beyond your control, and if you're having a child, but reschedule the tour. What they're doing is they are not only canceling the tour, but they're going on a different tour instead. It's just you move the tour back. So I don't really buy that. I think that that's a load of BS, personally. But now, bands such as We Came as Romans, Counterparts, 𝗧𝗪𝗪 are missing out on the opportunity to make a living that they haven't been able to for a little while now. So there's that. And then kind of in a more comedic relief aspect here, Cannibal Corpse fans chant F Chris Barnes during the concert. As you guys know, Chris Barnes, former vocalist of Cannibal Corpse from like 25 years ago, has made some remarks. Who cares? But George Corpse Grinder Fisher, and he, during the show, it says here, said, "You said it, not me." So I thought that was great. We're going to do a little bit of a lightning round here because I know we've kind of been going a little bit here. But Acacia string guitarist Tom Smith has left the band. I believe he's been in the band for, quite some time now. But yeah, he's looks like he's finishing up a couple of shows, and then he will be exiting the band. 2022 Aftershock Festival lineup has been announced. Some notable bands, of course, Slipknot, Rob Zombie, Killswitch Engage, Alexis on Fire, Ice Nine Kills, Nothing More, Bullet for My Valentine, Motionless in White, Spirit Box, JINJER, just a bunch of great bands. So Aftershock's going to be absolutely stacked. That's going to be taking place from October 6th to the 9th at Discovery Park in Sacramento, California. In Blue Ridge Rock Festival 2022, the lineup has started to take shape here. That's going to be September 8th to the 11th at Virginia International Raceway near Danville, Virginia. You got bands like Killswitch, Lamb of God, Memphis Mayfire, which you can't see because I'm blocking it by accident, Eskimo Cowboy, Fit for an Autopsy, Comeback Kid, Lamb of God. So there's a couple bands here, but there's going to be plenty more announced with that. Spite have announced a tour with Boundaries, Vatican, Body Box, and No Zodiac for select dates. So this tour is going to be going from May the 20th to July the 2nd, you got a, oh, there's no break in there. Okay, yeah, that's a long tour. And I believe this will be the first tour that Spite's been on since the pandemic, and also with new drummer Josh Miller as well. That's going to be a heavy tour. Malevolence have announced their new album Malicious Intent, and they dropped a song along with it on Broken Glass. It's about a 5-minute track, a nice live performance music video. Super hype, super heavy. You'll enjoy that. Era have covered the track Stockholm Syndrome by Muse. And what I really liked about this cover is that they really kept true to the original while also making it, a little bit heavier and grittier. And you've got to check that out. I absolutely loved that cover. I'm not usually too big of a fan of this kind of stuff, but like they really nailed it. Secrets, who, I'm not a huge Secrets fan, right? But I know of them to be more melodic and whatnot, but no, they released a 1minute and 40-second something track here, and they're going to be releasing a new record titled The Collapse. I'm sorry, on June 10th through Velocity Records. That'll be fun. Joshua Travis has announced his debut EP and shared a new track which features Ryo Kinoshita of Crystal Lake and Chad Kapper of Frontierer. The EP, No Rest, will be out on March 18th through Sharpton Records. And here, look at this lineup here. You have Rebel Eyes, which is already out, Leviathan, which is out, and then you have Disdain featuring Jamie Hales and Jake Steinhauser. You have Parallel featuring Jake Wolf and Daniela Bolin, and then All Out War featuring Ryan Kirby. Absolutely stacked features there. Left to Suffer have released a new track titled Overwhelming Power. I was fortunate enough to get this one sent over to me early for a reaction video. And if you like heavy breakdown-based music, this is a must. Straight from the Path. This is one of my favorite tracks of the year, their track Guillotine. Just the imagery itself. But this is like definitely a heavier side of Straight from the Path that I very much enjoyed. Super cool vocals from Drew as always, and I recommend checking this one out. And lastly, Void Division released Dominatrix. Very interesting visuals, for one, just the acting and the that kind of imagery, but also just the way it was shot. Like a lot of it was shot from like looking up at the people, which I thought was really cool. But again, this is a cool heavy track as well. Lots of heavy tracks came out this week, so if any of those interest you, I highly recommend you check those out. But yeah, guys, I had to do a little bit of a lightning round there at the end, but some important things to discuss there at the beginning, so I really wanted to make sure we got that in. But with that said, that does it for me for this week for the Warped Report here on the Out of Line YouTube channel. My name is Richard Janvrin, and I will see you right here, same time next week. Peace.